Welcome everyone to Overtime Champions All-Star match from the staff coming out here. We have Team Quella and Team Matt coming out. Game one here is going to be on Nepal. It looks like we may be starting on the Shrine stage. So this is a nice, fun, early afternoon match here between the staff of Overtime Champions. Great scrim community that we have coming out, and at least initially we've got Rhine Zarya comps from both sides approaching the point, so we're going to have to see which tank line is able to stay alive, as we have the Pharahs that are going to be shooting down from above as well. Now Zan on the Doomfist is certainly going to be one to watch, going for a flank onto the high ground here. And then Chico on the Hanzo is the other big damage dealer, but with Redninjor going down without the Mercy, that's a big opening here, and it looks like Team Quella is going to be losing this initial fight unless there's a big turnaround here. Zan trying to make it happen, but it's not there, so Matt is going to get this initial cap and start ticking up the point here on Shrine. Now the question will be if we'll continue to see Cajun Wise Guy on the Pharah. It can be a little more difficult to push in onto the point with Pharah versus defending. You can take advantage of the buildings and the high roofs that you want to hide behind. Zan again looking for this high ground flank, but he's getting forced back a little bit, and pushing up through mid is Big Head, but Ghastly is here to meet him, trying to build up towards that Earth Shatter here. Again, Zan just getting so aggressive, really looking for these picks. But Cajun Wise Guy is actually the first one to open up the point. So here we have Team Quella pushing in firmly on the point now, and a man down, now two down. This may be a flip. They have some ultimates they can invest if they want to try and hold on or stall out here. Ghastly with the Shatter under pressure. Doesn't look like he's trying to invest it. No, here comes the trans. They do invest both the trans and the Shatter. The Shatter comes through. That's 2 kills for Ghastly off of this Shatter. And that's actually going to be a hold, and a great hold. Nice and delayed there from Team Matt. They're not only able to get the hold, but run the clock up at the same time. So excellent from them. They have both of their DPS ultimates available. Investing those support ultimates can be a little costly. So we'll see if they're able to hold out. Now that they're ticking up towards that 70%, Team Quella really needs to get this flip on this push. They're not going to have time for another full flanking push. So they're going to have to invest these ultimates to get in. Both reses have been traded. And the high ground gets dragged. Oh, but they force out the trans. So good reaction trans from Bradley. But Cajun Wise Guy does fall. The trans not able to save, but Big Head with another big shadow coming out. And Zan, oh my lord, with a giant Doomfist ultimate there, the Meteor Strike, getting 3 kills, but that's still not enough for them to flip the point. We're up at 99, it's going to be 100. Can anyone from Quella get on the point? And no! So that is going to be the first round going over Team Matt. That's a 100-0. Some of the fights back and forth, but overall the round score clearly going the side of Team Matt. So we need to see what sort of answers that Team Quella is going to have to bring out. Zan looking to stay on the Doomfist, it appears, for this round. No real comp changes we're seeing from Quella at all. Now, Team Mike looking to potentially run maybe a Goats comp. Yes, they have swapped to full Goats comp, so going to be very aggressive. Going to look to use that Lucio speed to really get up in the face of Team Quella, and they're going to try and run down the other team before the Pharah can kind of shoot them from the sky, because they don't have a good way to directly contest that Pharah. So they really need to be able to run in, get position, and get these early kills, and they've definitely got the positioning part down. They are already on the point. They're planting their flag and saying, you're going to have to come into us, and that does cut off a lot of Pharah's lifeline funds. The punch is just going to have to be spamming in here. But with the corners, especially with Brigitte is able to hold these corners and place out the stuns. Matt swinging around on this Reinhardt and is able to win the Rhine duel with the support from Zarya, and he's just continuing to hold W and left click, pushing in here, so aggressive. But that is going to be enough. The initial control that we saw was enough to put the pressure onto Team Quella when they tried to enter in. They weren't able to get their tank safely onto the point. They just kind of got eaten up by that Lucio speed aggression. And now Team Quella is on the back foot here. Again, the first cap going the other way. But the player, Quella, almost has that coalescence available, which in these tank wars is another big advantage in the Rhine versus Rhine matchup. So Ghastly hopefully going to get enough healing that we'll see an Earthshatter this fight as well. Coming through main is Team Quella. They've got the pressure coming out. Here's a Dragon Strike to segment the tanks. Good strategy to try and win this tank war, break everyone apart, but they aren't able to capitalize on that, and Ghastly is able to flank around and get a charge kill. It looks like Colossal and Ghastly are going to be able to put out enough damage and use this speed and the coalescence combination to get the cleanup. So now we're above 60%. Team Matt holding control, getting the cleanup here. Zan, who's on the Hanzo, has not found as much success as we would need to see to get this flip, but we do now have a Graviton available for Bryce T. So Bryce T trying to push in, use this big tank ultimate, potentially combo with Cajun Wise Guy's Barrage, and all that they really have to defend from this would be the sound barrier and potentially a defense matrix. Oh, but the defense matrix does everything that's needed. It just eats the grav. They invest the sound barriers as well, and that should be enough to win this fight. Zan throws in his ultimate, but when no one's CC'd, it's not going to matter. He's running onto the point, but this is not going to be enough. This looks like a quick 2-0 for Team Mike. Team Quella not as competitive on this control map. We'll have to see how things look moving into map 2, but at least initially, Team Matt looking very strong, very diverse. I like the two completely separate comps we saw from them from map to map. Here comes the play of the game from Zan. I'm assuming that this is that big meteor strike we saw following that Earthshatter, and yes, perfect timing. I'm not sure how coordinated that was with them, being kind of a staff pickup team there, but that timing was really, really excellent. And there wasn't really anything that, Team Matt was going to be able to do to avoid that combo, but they still were able to turn around and hold the point from that fight. Hi everybody, we are back for map 2 of the Overtime Champions Staff All-Star game. Team Quella versus Team Matt here. Team Matt up 1-0. They are looking to continue their trend on Junkertown, want to stretch that lead to 2 maps. But defensively, Team Quella looking to turn things around. They're running what looks to be a Reinhardt Zarya defense here on Junkertown, and potentially trying to take advantage of these new hit scan changes, a lot less fall off damage. So we see Cajun Wise Guy on that defensive soldier here. So they'll have the ability to kind of hold these choke points, but they won't have that super long range damage that we usually see on Junkertown first with the Widowmaker. Now, offensively, we do see initially a Widow with that Ryan Zarya matchup, but also a Bastion. So we'll have to see what team Quella will be able to do to get this Bastion off the cart. He's already set up and rolling. They don't really have a Junkrat or any good way to force him off until they're able to get that Dragon Strike. So Zan gonna have to start building that up quickly because Maui is looking to push through and just destroy these tanks, as we see Big Head taking a ton of damage, and a snipe on Red Ninja. That's the majority of the healing for Team Quella's defense, and that means the tanks are going to start getting eaten up. We see Bryce T going down, Big Head following as well. This is looking like a quick first point cap from Team Matt. They've basically just been moving the payload at full speed this whole time using this pirate ship offense. And with the final stagger kills coming in, that's going to be 5.5 minutes on the clock for Team Matt moving into the second phase here. Now, they are looking to be able to at least hold this high ground a little bit, but no, Bradley goes down. Chico on the Widow taking advantage of this sight line, trying to prevent the setup. They are on the high ground defensively here, but they don't have their hit scan soldier there. Cajun Wise Guy did get stagger spawned, so he's way back, and they're going to have to find another way to get rid of this Bastion. Maui already with the ultimate, and Red Ninja are getting picked early yet again. Mio with the big plays here on the Hanzo, and now we have the tank form coming out from Bastion, getting aggressive, more tank punishing. Bryce T now on the Diva, having to run back and retreat. The rest of the team going down. Will Ghastly get turned on? Yes, he does end up falling. And Mio as well. This may be a chance for Team Quella to get back into this. They're looking for a chance, but without any pressure on the Bastion, continuing to put out damage here, pocketed by not Team Quella, but the player Quella on Mercy here. They are able to get the completion on second again, barely slowing down at all. Now a full 6 minutes in the time bank. And you'd think, okay, at least defensively they've got some ults available, but there haven't been many ultimates invested on the offense. The only thing they've had to use is this tank form from Bastion, so they are almost up to a full 6 as well. It's going to come down to combos. Chico, with his ult available, decides to swap on over to the Doomfist. Doomfist can combo very well on this stage. Good mobility. The tank's looking to push in. A great Grav Dragon combo is going to continue the cart moving for Team Matt. Quella does fall to the Dragon from Zan, though, so without a res, they may be able to chip down and eventually stop this push, but not before some more ground is gained. For Team Matt here. Bryce T on the high ground, looking to get some damage out to try and get back in the mech, only at 5 health, barely alive here. And Zan falling on the low ground. This is looking worse and worse for Team Quella, not really able to regroup after that fight, kind of getting staggered a little bit. The cart has made it around the U-bend, and Big Head's under pressure, has a Doomfist and a Bastion ulting in his face. The Bastion just getting cleanup. So much pressure on the Big Head. He has the Earth Shatter, but can he get any value out of it? Knocked into the sky 3 times, not ever able to actually land that Earth Shatter, and there's just no brakes on this payload. Someone cut those brake lines. No stopping whatsoever, all the way through to the end. 4.5 minute time bank on Junkertown. That's that pirate ship working to a T, just never able to get enough pressure on the Bastion to force that Bastion off of the cart, except for that small fight in third where they kind of staggered and broke everyone apart, but neither team fully regrouped, and we did see Team Matt eventually come out on top, and with the payload rolling, they just kept it going all the way through to the end. So Definitely a good showing from them. Now, they're probably not going to be able to run that same composition on defense. We very rarely see the defensive Bastion, so we will have to see them show us a different look here. And the offense as well, usually we'll see a different composition, and potentially they'll be answering with their own Bastion this time. But I would be hoping to see defensively either a Junkrat or a Hanzo, just to have the option in case you do end up against that pirate ship. Their ultimates are both so good at clearing out these characters that have to sit on the cart, like Bastion in this strategy, you know, fall into that Riptide or falling to that Dragon Strike. But from Team Quella, really they're just going to have to find a way to build up their ultimates and get some good ultimate combos. They did have some ultimates available there at the end, but they just weren't able to execute and use them in tandem to get the kills and stop the payload. So that's what I'm looking to see from the offense this round. Now, defensively, we want to see how long can they hold without having to invest ultimates. They're going to be looking for picks using this Widow, Hanzo, and Roadhog so that they can get kills and get an advantage without having to invest any ultimates. And there's one right away. Chico gets an early pick onto Bryce T, no ults required, continuing to peek and fight Zan, but even though Chico's pocketed, Zan's able to win that 1v1. The res does come out onto Chico, and now the Bastion is pushing through under pressure. The Rhine charge! Ghastly gets the Bastion. That's going to be the pirate ship stopped Zan, not wanting to go down, but Colossal does eventually find that. Ghastly getting answered back on, though, and with Rhine dying so far forward, no res available, it's going to be a while before he gets back onto the point. This is an opening that we see for Team Quella. They're going to have an option to set back up, which is not usually what you see once Bastion is forced off the cart. So with this second chance, will they be able to build up a big time bank? They're continuing to push through. Maui gets the hook. Zan escapes, though, does not go down. Bryce T on the Tracer does fall, though, so still not at full strength is this offense. Big Head on the Reaper, though, trying to get up close and personal with these tanks. Is able to get onto the Widowmaker, actually. Chico returns with the headshot, and on the cart, the tanks have dove in, so Reaper trying to take the close range fight against the Widow gets punished and can't keep the tanks from running down the cart, so they're forced off. Quella, Bryce T is back in here, trying to push on this cart contest, but by himself, probably not going to be able to get a lot done. Is at least distracting and preventing the setup. Big Head pressuring the Rhine shield for Ghastly as well, so both able to escape, just some poking back and forth. Now we have Cajun Wise Guy onto the Soldier, and he's going to look to continue to put pressure coming in. Big Head also pressuring the cart, so continually getting these DPS in. Bredley now finally looking to get in position with the Rhine, but is forced back a little bit. And Chico is just not under any pressure on this high ground right now, taking pot shots on the Widow. We've got Bryce T on the long flank. Not sure if he'll be able to make that play, and Zan behind the Rhine shield also trying to get this pressure out. We see the Dragon Strike from Zan as well. They're really trying to make the play onto this Widow. Bryce T has gotten there, and Bryce T and Zan together get the cleanup. But with Red Ninja going down, and now Bryce T as well, Team Quella again find themselves on the back foot. Quella, the player, invests that Valkyrie to keep the team alive and stay safe in this last phase. And unless we see a hero play coming out from Cajun Wise Guy, this is going to be a hold. Colossal and Maui investing their ultimates there at the end, potentially not needed there. The fight looked a little cleaned up, so maybe a slight opportunity for Quella. They are sitting on a few ultimates with the investments coming in from Team Matt, as well as Chico's swap onto the Doomfist. They don't have a lot of ultimates available here. If they can regroup, they'll have a chance, but Chico's trying to get a pick before that regroup can ever happen. Cajun Wise Guy trying to punish that aggression, not able to do so. And now with Bryce T onto the Diva, they've got a little more beef on the offensive side, Team Quella. They may be able to contest this cart a little bit longer, but they've got to worry about this Dragon Strike coming out from the defense. That's their big ultimate, but the offensive Dragon Strike invested by Zan, they're trying to dive in right now. Cajun Wise Guy aggressively flanking with his Tech Visor, but he falls to the Fire Strike. Zan continuing to clean up, and Bradley with a smart trade onto Colossal. You can't res there, but now Maui continuing to put the pressure on the Roadhog. High ground here is flanking, falling back a little bit, and Zan just staying on the cart, and they should be able to get the completion here. Yes, so a little delayed there, not the time bank that we saw from the first round, but still a completion on point A, and a decent stagger as well. Several people spawning far back, so the defense from Team Matt is going to have a hard time claiming this high ground, and Zan going to try and put the pressure, use that to his advantage, and deny even more positioning for the defense here. Chico's Doomfist is about halfway to that ultimate, so doesn't have it yet, but Zan has his Dragon Strike, goes ahead and invests that, continuing to want to split this team up and keep them on the back foot. But Maui, not fooled, able to get Big Head here, not intimidated by the Reaper. And with that kill, that's not going to be resable. This should be a contest that we see from Team Matt. Ghastly on the point, stopping that from moving, and Chico with a big double kill on the DPS in the backline. Great flank here on Junkertown's second. One of the good maps for these long Doomfist flanks. He's able to completely open up this fight after Maui gives them the advantage with that pick onto Reaper. So this is going to be a strong stop on the second point. And this is where things can be very difficult on Junkertown. Once you get stalled on this second point and you're under this first high ground, it can be very difficult to force the defense down. They're trying to do just that by running straight through the low ground, though. Bradley trying to play aggressive, but he and his compatriots, oh no, they get grab, dragoned. Colossal with the alley-oop, and Mio with the dunk. That's gonna be it. So another good stop. That low ground push not working out. Now Big Head does still have this Reaper ultimate. So if we do see Team Quella take the time to regroup, you know, get together, stop this stagger, they do have the resources that they need to win a fight, but they need to look out. Ghastly flanking, looking for a sneaky Earth Shatter up on this high ground. This is an interesting maneuver here. We'll see. Quella looking to pop this Valk to keep the team alive, so everyone can stay kind of separated a little bit. She will have that mobility once the team fight kicks off. Bradley looking to rotate onto the high ground under so much pressure. Chico displacing him with that Doomfist. Here comes the Reaper ultimate, gets an important pick onto Quella. Lots of trades going back and forth. Big Head gets 2 kills before falling, so the cart is moving, but without a lot of members alive, it's unclear if it'll be able to continue. The whole hog invested from Maui. This is a lot of damage, but will he be able to stay alive? The Zarya bubble and the take a breather will ensure he can keep his life. Cajun Wise Guy under a lot of pressure, but staying alive due to the Mercy pocket, but nothing keeps the Mercy alive. Now Zan trying to invest his ultimate to push through. A great block from Bradley. Neither Earth Shatter getting anywhere, but as Zan falls to the hook, Maui's Roadhog putting out the pressure, and Quella keeping the team alive as that Valkyrie ends. This is going to be a full hold here on second for the side of Team Matt. So that's a quick 2-0. So after Nepal and Junkertown, we're seeing Matt looking like the stronger team there with a great time bank. And then a strong defense on point A and point B here. Play of the game, we've got that Hanzo Dragon Strike coming in, the Grav Dragon combo, the highest skill ultimate combination in Overwatch at the moment. Always good to see there. But that is a quick 2-0. We will be going into a short break before we hit map 3, but I am interested to see if we're going to see some more role swaps and some more fun stuff that we've seen from both of these teams as we continue with the staff all-star game for Overtime Champions. Welcome everyone back to map 3 here for the Overtime Champions All-Star Staff match here. We are moving to map 3 Blizzard World. We are looking at a match score of 2-0 towards Team Matt. Quella down right now, losing both Nepal and Junkertown, but they're looking to turn things around on Blizzard World. Blizzard World has very different compositions than we see on the likes of Junkertown. Definitely not expecting to see any Bastion this time around. Plenty of Zarya Hanzo, though. So we'll probably be seeing that at least on the first point somewhat and the third point. And we've got a little bit of that coming out from the defense for Team Quella. We've got Bryce T as well on the Hog, so a very tank-heavy composition. Potentially a little vulnerable to the likes of a Pharah or a Junkrat, but we don't see either of those picks coming out from the offense. Team Matt opting to run full dive, which is potentially a lot more powerful on this new patch with a little bit of that Hanzo nerf coming in. Being able to eliminate these targets is great, and Zan falling early, that Hanzo being the crux of the range damage output for this composition. That's a really big deal. Mio with a big pick and continuing to pressure, take this high ground, force everyone back, and just poke. The dive comes in for the offense, and with the second kill onto Bredley, this may be it. It's going to be hard for this recontest to come in. A third kill now, unless we see a big play from Zan as he makes it back to the point. That's not going to be enough, and we do not see that. Chico already building up that pulse bomb and using it. Now another kill. Chico just destroying in this extended fight. A great opening with that initial pick from Mio's Genji. The tanks continue to dive in, do damage, and make space, and then Chico is able to take advantage of that and blink through, get a bunch of cleanup kills. So excellent play, a good taking advantage of those openings here from Team Matt. Now, Team Quella on the defense, we see them swap over to a Lucio. They want a little more mobility. They want to be able to move their tanks around a little bit more, being against this dive comp. Lucio also good at booping away, keeping the team alive, and they're going to use a speed boost to try and run from the self-destruct, but they can't get away! The shield comes down, and that's a triple kill off of the self-destruct from Colossal. This payload isn't slowing down at all, and even though we've got a completely different offensive comp from Team Matt, not this immobile pirate ship, but this highly mobile dive, still seeing that payload push through the map without fail, just continuing to move. They're all the way up at the spawn, not letting anyone in, and they've already completed the second point with a 6-minute time bank to work with. And it looks like they may not even swap compositions for this third section. They're continuing to run dive on this more hallway closed-in area, which we traditionally do see a little bit more of these Rein Zarya compositions, but with so many ultimates available, they may be able to just brute force their way in here. Chico with the pressure, the dive coming in as well. They're just waiting for these cooldowns, and the Valkyrie from Quella means it is indeed go time. Mio dies without pulling the Dragon Blade, though, and another self-destruct from Colossal, and again gets a kill. So with this opening, that's 2 down from the defensive side, Team Quella here, and they're struggling to stay on the payload. The healing is keeping them alive, and the sound barrier as well. They're just contesting, not letting anything move, and finally, the grab comes out, countered by the Transcendence, so they're not able to get any kills. Cajun Wise Guy dies as soon as he invests that ultimate, and this is a huge turnaround. Maui showing up again on the Roadhog last map, on the Zenyatta this map, with the important plays, the clutch plays, holding that trans until it's needed, and able to keep the team alive. Quella with a great aggressive res, the tanks keeping her safe as she uses that ability as well. So Team Matt with 4.5 minutes almost at the end of the map here, and not with a lot of resources left. Team Quella on the defense, another self-destruct. That's the third one already. Finally, they're able to survive the self-destruct and not get kills, but they can't stay alive through the blade. The Genji blade is such good cleanup here at the end of the map. Maui on the Zen, completely uncontested. This has got to be a completion, and another lightning fast offense on a payload map that we see from Team Matt. Wow, and again, just a completely different composition, just full dive. We see they weren't even running the Zen before, now that they are. We see the flex that we've gotten more and more familiar with throughout Overwatch League and contenders seeing that flex support potentially having to play Roadhog, and Maui filling that role very well. Now, the question will be on the defense, are they going to opt again for a dive-centric style? It's certainly possible on Blizzard World here. It's very doable to kind of play defensive dive the same way we used to see it on Volskaya when dive was much more prevalent. You just kind of play back, play spread out at a distance. Once the team starts to engage on the offensive side, once they try and find a pick or once they try and get onto the point, they have to come out into the open, and then you can dive, you can make that play. So we have that potential, and we may at least see Chico play that way on the Genji, but we've got Mio, interestingly, on that new Sombra. So with these new Sombra changes, she does have infinite stealth, basically, and an infinite translocator. So she's able to maneuver a lot more freely, and she's able to kind of coordinate a lot better. She doesn't just have this small window of time to engage. You can kind of stay stealth, scout a lot, wait for your team to be ready, and then you can all jump in at the same time, whereas previously, with only about 8 seconds to work with of invisibility, you kind of had to be a little more precise with your windows. So I'll be interested to see what kind of scouting they make happen here, but they are opting for a ground-based tank defense. And we are going to see, it looks like the Reinhardt from the offense from Team Quella as well, with a Reinhardt-Diva combination, so no Zarya for that big combo with the Graviton, but without a big DPS ultimate to combo with it, you don't feel like you're losing too much. You really just want to help Cajun Wise Guy get set up on one of these high grounds to try and pressure everyone out and push the tanks back onto the point. So as the pressure comes in, Reinhardt marching forward, Big Head trying to get his team safely onto the point, throwing these fire strikes and trading out. We don't see any flanks coming from the dive DPS just yet. Mostly just pokes and scouting, heals coming out from both sides. With the Ana on the high ground from Maui, though, very safe unless Zan is able to get a long flank. And we see Mio behind on the Sombra, potentially looking for a hack. Here's the engage, but already a blade available for Chico. Not getting a lot out of it initially, but cleaning up in the end. Oh, the huge triple kill coming out here. The pressure did come on to Maui on the high ground, but able to stay alive for a little bit before the res, and Chico builds up a quick Dragon Blade, gets the bubble from Colossal, and is able to do the work there. So now with the Dragon Blade off the table, definitely the offense not quite as afraid, but they do have to worry about the potential for a Grav, and they have to find a way to do some burst damage through the healing we're going to see from Maui, and especially Quella with this Valkyrie available. And Chico looking to already build up towards another blade, kind of flanking, getting some poke onto the tanks, but we do see the aggression from Big Head. The sleep comes in, no good follow-up, but the Grav comes in as well. Will they be able to get any kills off of this Grav? They are. Colossal charged up, doing tons of damage. Quella investing that Valk to keep the team alive, and it is going to work out. So with the Grav and the Valk invested, they are able to get the hold. And we did see the Valk and the Pulse Bomb invested offensively. Zan did have a great stick to open up that fight. Unfortunately, it's just not enough when you have your whole team locked up in a Graviton there, taking all of the damage from that Zarya. Now, with both teams having no Gravitons available, but we do see 2 Earth Shatters, so it's going to be a war of the Reinhardts. Which team is going to be able to set their Rein up to keep their shield healthy and get a high-value Earth Shatter? Mio wants to deny this entirely with the hack, and here it comes. The hack into the Earth Shatter is giant here. The self-destruct from Bryce T, not able to get enough. Colossal does go down, but that's probably just going to be a res here for Quella. Maybe not even going to invest that resurrect here. We will see. But we do have an interesting dynamic here. So when we have the EMP into Shatter used, that was a great play, right? Great cleanup. We're down to under a minute, but a lot of ultimates available for the offense. Team Quella does have the opportunity to push in here. They can get aggressive as long as they can keep Red Ninja alive. He's going to be under pressure from Mio. This Sombra is waiting for an opportunity to get in. Chico also looking. No, and here comes the dive. They are able to get on him. He cannot use that Transcendence. They get the res, but Bradley follows an answer. The Tack Visor on the high ground. Will Cajun Wise Guy be able to do enough? He's flanking. This fight has been broken wide open, and it does look like it's looking good for Team Quella. The Shatter comes out, though, and it may turn things around. It's just Zan and Cajun Wise Guy. They're trying to kite around. The Tracer and the Soldier on the point. He is able to throw down the Biotic Field. Cannot stay alive through the Graviton, though. Colossal trying to carry. Zan saying, no, I want this point for my team. Is able to get the kill, but Chico is back, and he has reinforcements. Quella going for the res. Zan trying to punish it, but cannot. Chico with the kill. Bradley answering with a res of their own. The offense, Team Quella trying to get in. Red Ninja has returned finally with that Transcendence, but so has the defense. Everyone getting back in for this final contest. Overtime spawn so important here. The Nano Boost onto Ghastly allows him to just run forward, hold that left click, and he's doing so much damage. No pressure onto Chico. He finally does go down to Zan, but Cajun Wise Guy, again, one of the last on the point. He's staying alive on this Soldier. Maui not able to get enough, and Zan and Cajun Wise Guy staying alive yet again. Oh, Zan letting Maui know what's good there with a little tactical crouch, and eventually the cap does come in onto Blizzard World Point A by the skin of their teeth. Team Quella keep this map going. Definitely a great defensive attempt from Team Matt, but bested in the end by the sustain and the stall power of heroes like Soldier and Tracer. We're moving on to the second point. We see Maui is off of the Ana onto the Brig, but that does not scare Zan. He's still able to get into the back line and kill Quella, continuing to disrupt, trying to make room for his team to push the payload, but he's gone down now in the back line. So with a 5v5 and Quella respawning sooner, this could end up being good for Team Matt here. They're pushing onto the payload, trying to get aggressive, use this Brig to pressure the tanks, and the EMP comes in, followed by the Blade. Chico just destroying these squishies in the backline. Mio again comboing well and using that timing window, just staying behind for a long time. And here's Cajun Wise Guy on the high ground. Looks like he is going to be able to get away on this Soldier as the cleanup comes onto Bryce T as well. So with a lot of ultimates available for the offense, they're going to have to find a way to make this work and not get grabbed, because if they get grabbed, they're probably going to lose this fight. Have a good way to live through it. Valk is probably not going to be enough to save them. Chico trying to stay on this high ground, poke out, build up to another Blade. Ghastly on the low ground, swinging away, protected by Maui and Colossal, and he uses that protection to get a fat shatter off. No shield to block it. That's going to be the quick cleanup. And again, Zan finds Quella, but a solo pick onto Mercy when your whole team is down is just not going to be enough. He does get Maui as well, really wanting to make this happen, staying alive as his teammate Bryce T falls, and using the recall here, potentially staggering a little bit, but that's all right. We'll have enough time, certainly, to get back for this final push. And Colossal is discorded on the point, under a little pressure. It's just the tank line here. They could be aggressed on, and we do see that happening from Big Head, but Cajun Wise Guy falls on the high ground. So brutal. The Colossal, the Zarya with grab available, is the one to fall. A very important point pick, but the res does come out here. So a clutch res. Colossal now does have the ability to get this grab to try and complete this hold. Only 10 seconds left with a self-destruct coming out. Colossal is able to stay alive, and with 2 picks going the side of Team Matt, Team Quella on the back foot here again in an overtime scenario down. And another EMP shatter combo, just going to completely wipe things. A Blade as well, a grab, so many ults able to be invested here at the end. Time is going to tick down, and that's going to be a hold on second for Team Matt. This is going to be a 3-0. That's a completion of our series. Team Matt able to take it over Team Quella on our overtime champion staff all-star game. We do see Colossal on the Zarya, who played that the entire defense, was able to get several good grabs. And honestly, Team Matt really, they were able to build up ultimates, but I think the big difference we saw between these teams was their ability to coordinate those ultimates. We saw tank ultimates used with DPS ultimates. We saw EMPs come in to coordinate with other big cooldowns as well. So I think that communication and coordination was just really on point for the side of Team Matt. And that's what allowed them to come out victorious today. But regardless, a great set, a great match from both sides, and a lot of fun. This has been Dreamcasting the Overtime Champions Staff All-Star match, and we hope you catch the next one.